If you're elected president, would you support direct talks with the Taliban in Afghanistan?
You know, I know that General Petraeus has discussed the possibility of trying to peel away more moderate factions within the Taliban. And I think that talking to our commanders on the ground and based on sound intelligence, if we can peel off some support from the hardcore militants that are aligned with Al-Qaeda, that would be beneficial. I don't think that we necessarily are the best intermediary in that kind of discussion. And I'd want to see some proof, some evidence that in fact there are aspects of the Taliban that are susceptible to reasonable dialogue.
Because, as you know, this is the group that gave aid and comfort to Al-Qaeda.
Well, and that's exactly my point. My general attitude is that we have to snuff out Al-Qaeda, we have to capture or kill bin Laden, and in order for us to do that, we're going to have cooperation from Afghans and Pakistanis, but it may get murky in terms of who are potential allies, who are enemies in that situation. I want to work with our commanders to do whatever practically we can do in order to make sure that the overall goal of eliminating Al-Qaeda as a threat is accomplished.
The model that General Petraeus used in Iraq to wean away Iraqi Sunni insurgents from Al-Qaeda, it seems to have worked in the Al-Anbar province and elsewhere. Is that model applicable in weaning away Taliban elements from Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan?
I think it is important to understand that these countries are all different. That's one of the mistakes we made going into Iraq. We have to, I think, analyze very specifically what the situation is there before we make any moves. And I will expect, if I'm the president-elect, to have some very rapid discussions with General Petraeus, who I think has done a very good job in Iraq. I want to get his assessment, and I would want to see some evidence that, in fact, the possibility of that model working existed in Afghanistan.
As you know, he took charge today, even as we're speaking, of the U.S. Military Central Command, which oversees that entire region. You have confidence in him, and you want him to stay.
I do have confidence in him. I think he did an outstanding job in Iraq, as our military generally has done outstanding work. What they need is a commander-in-chief who is thinking more strategically about how we deploy our resources to make America more secure. And I look forward to working alongside our commanders and our troops on the ground in order to make sure that we are going after Al-Qaeda, we're getting bin Laden, that we stabilize Iraq, that we create a situation in Afghanistan where this ongoing threat is not constantly coming back at us.